Why do you feel broken? Maybe you've asked yourself that quietly, not out loud, not where anyone could hear it, but somewhere inside when the room got too still, when the noise stopped, when the night stretched longer than the strength you had left in your body. You wondered, what is really wrong with me? Why can't I just be okay? Why does it still hurt? Why do I feel so far from who I used to be? Why does everyone else seem to be going while I feel like I'm standing in the middle of my own life trying to remember how to breathe? And if that's where you are, let me say this before anything else. Nothing is wrong with you. Absolutely nothing. Something happened to you. Maybe more than one thing. It's usually more than one thing, right? Maybe 1,000 tiny things that picked away at you gradually. Maybe years where you've been unseen, unheard, judged, abandoned, criticized, overlooked, or forced to become acceptable before you were allowed to feel loved. But you are not broken. You may be tired. I know you're tired. You may be grieving. You may be carrying something heavy. And you may have adapted in ways you don't even recognize yet. But that's not the same as being broken. See, feeling broken does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like being functional in public around people and falling apart when you're by yourself. It looks like smiling when your chest feels heavy and it hurts to breathe. It looks like answering, I'm fine, I'm good, how are you? Because explaining the truth would take too much energy. It looks like lying awake at night, not because you want to think, but because your mind keeps reopening doors you were too tired to close. It looks like feeling lonely even when people are around. It looks like wondering if anyone would really understand the version of you that exists when you are not performing or pretending to be someone else. And sometimes it looks like watching videos like this because you're trying to find words for what hurts. Trying to find proof that you are not the only one. Trying to feel less alone in a world that keeps asking you to keep moving like nothing happened. But something did happen. Something happened that changed how safe you feel inside yourself. Something happened that made you question your worth. Something happened that made you wonder if you're too damaged to be loved, too tired to heal, too foregone to come back. And Hold on Arrival is here to interrupt that lie. You see, I know how you feel. You're not too far gone. You are not too damaged. You are not a problem to be solved. You are a person, a human being who needs care. Pain gives you bits and pieces. It doesn't tell the whole story. It tells the sharpest part. It tells you this is who you are now. You're the broken one, the unwanted one, the one who can't get it together, the one who ruins things, the one who is too much, and the one who is not enough, the one who keeps getting hurt because maybe something about you invites pain. But pain is not always telling the truth. Pain is often just repeating what hurt you over and over again. If someone dismissed you, pain may start seeing your feelings don't matter. If someone abandoned you, pain may start seeing you're easy to leave. If someone criticized you, pain may start saying you are never enough. If someone ignored your needs, pain may start saying your needs are the problem. If you spent years trying to be liked, accepted, chosen, or safe, pain may start saying the real you is not enough to keep anyone close. But that's not the truth. That's injury talking. And injury should be heard, but it should not be handed the pen and told to write the definition of your life. What if you're not broken? What if you adapted? We've all done that. What if the version of you that feels anxious, guarded, exhausted, numb, withdrawn, angry, or overly careful is not defective? What if that version of you learned how to survive? Maybe you learned to stay quiet because speaking up got you judged. Maybe you learned to please people because being disliked felt unsafe. Or maybe you learned to over-explain because being misunderstood just hurt too much. And maybe you learned to expect rejection because hope had disappointed you too many times. Maybe you learned to disappear because being fully seen did not always feel safe. And after a while, survival can start to feel like personality. You may start thinking, this is just who I am. I am too sensitive. I am too needy. I am too emotional. I am too damaged. I am just too hard to understand. Maybe those were never your true names. Maybe those were labels pain gave you when you were doing your best, your very best, to stay alive inside a life that did not always hold you close and make you feel safe. You are not broken because you adapted. You are not broken because you learned to protect yourself. You are not broken because your nervous system remembers what your mouth never got to say. You are not broken. You are carrying proof that you survived something heavy. And maybe this is the part that hurts the most. It's not just the pain, but the way you changed because of it. Maybe you used to laugh more. Maybe you used to trust more. Maybe you used to talk freely without fear of being judged. Maybe you used to believe people when they said they cared. Maybe you used to know what you wanted and weren't afraid to ask for it or go after it. Maybe you used to feel like there was a self inside you that was easy to find. But now you feel careful. Now you feel tired. Now you feel like you've become someone you did not mean to become. And maybe you're grieving that version of you, the one before the hurt, the one before the disappointment, the one before the abandonment, the one before you started reading every room for signs of danger, the one before you started shrinking just to make other people comfortable. But please listen to me. You are not gone. You may be buried. You may be quiet. You may be tired, and you may be hidden under years of surviving, but you are not gone. The real you is still in there. And coming back does not have to happen all at once, because usually you didn't lose yourself all at once. It can begin with one honest breath, one honest sentence, one moment where you stop calling yourself broken and start asking, what happened to me? What did it make me believe? What do I want to believe about myself now? Maybe you're scared to admit you need help. Maybe you're afraid people will judge you. I was. Maybe you keep isolating because being seen feels risky and you've been through enough. Maybe you've told yourself, I should be over this by now. I should be stronger. I should know how to fix myself. But there is no shame at all in needing support. We all do. There's no shame in needing words that meet you where you are. And there's no shame in needing someone to say, I see you. I hear you. I was you. There's no shame in needing a quiet place to remember that your pain is not proof that you were ruined. Sometimes the bravest thing a person can do is to stop pretending the wound is not there. Not because they want attention, not because they're weak, but because healing can't begin in the place where you are still forced to lie about what hurts. You deserve care. Not because you're broken, because you are human. And humans need holding sometimes. Humans need language. Humans need reminders. And humans need safe places to stop performing. So let this be the moment where we separate the pain from your identity. You are not broken because you're tired. You are not broken because healing is taking longer than you wanted. You are not broken because you still cry. You are not broken because you still remember. You are not broken because you need reassurance. You are not broken because someone hurt you and your body has not forgotten yet. You are not broken because you feel lonely. You are not broken because you do not know who you are right now. You are not broken because you lost yourself trying to survive. What happened may explain your pain, but not your worth. What happened may explain your fear, but not your future. What happened may explain your exhaustion, but not your identity. What happened may explain why you feel far from yourself, but it does not get to decide whether you are still whole. You are still whole, not untouched, not unchanged, not unscarred, but whole. Coming back to yourself can start small. It doesn't have to look like a complete transformation. It can look like drinking water, opening a window, taking one breath without apologizing for needing it, writing one sentence that tells the truth, saying, I'm not broken, I'm hurting, saying, I'm not the problem, I'm a person who needs care, saying, I can grow without hating myself, saying, I can take responsibility without turning myself into the enemy, and saying, I can be honest about what happened without letting it become who I am. That is a beginning, and beginnings count. even small, quiet ones, especially the quiet ones. Because sometimes healing does not arrive like thunder. Sometimes it arrives like a small decision not to abandon yourself today. A small refusal to call yourself broken. A small breath that says, I am still here. And if I am still here, I can still come home. And if this made you wonder what the pain may have made you believe about yourself, take 2 minutes and take the self worth reset quiz. It's not a test, it's a quiet mirror. It doesn't judge. It's a place to begin separating what happened from who you are. No shame, no fixing. Just one quiet step back to you. Because nothing is wrong with you. Something happened to you. And what happened may explain your pain, but not your worth. So please, don't give up. I see you. I hear you. I was you. And you are still whole.